Let's make this top for my new clothing brand, Pauline New York, part 7. So it's time for me to add my stripes onto my first sample. I'm gonna go around and mark where the stripes are. That way I know where to sew them on once I take it off the form. So I marked all the stripes in blue, and then in red I labeled each stripe, and what I had planned to do was sew it at a 1/4 inch seam allowance and then do bias tape covering the seam allowance. So I'll still sew it at a 1/4 inch, but then that stitch line is going to need to be the center of my boning channel. So I finished sewing on a few stripes, and I'm gonna use twill tape to create the boning channels just for this sample. Okay, so I've kind of hit a roadblock. I don't know how I'm gonna do the boning channels because, like, basically I want it to be one continuous channel outlining each stripe. I don't want to have to do a seam at the point, but doing this tape is just not gonna be able to curve around and be flat. It's just not gonna work. So like this test that I did a while ago, it worked well. I'm gonna try to do the same method that I did a while ago, but I'm gonna do it a little differently so I'm not sewing it to the lining when I sew it. So I'm just gonna use these pieces because I'm just testing this out, but I'm gonna fold under the edges of this, pretending that this is my stripe, and then sew it down right along the fold to stick it down. And then I'm gonna sew in a little more than a 1/4 inch to create the boning channel, which when I made this before, I thought that that wouldn't work, but now I'm thinking like, I think that would work. Okay, I finished sewing it together and here's how it looks, but I have a couple pieces of boning. I'm just gonna slide through here. I don't know why before with this one I thought I had to sew it to the lining too. I don't know. And then I can just have one piece of the boning go all the way to the end and then the other piece just go up to the edge of that one. I feel like this could work. So I'm gonna try it on one of the stripes and see if it works.